Jimmy.
Now, what's worth doing is worth doing for money.
Straight from y'all street to Wall Street.
Anybody tells you money's the root of all evil doesn't make up happen.
Dudes wake up, hope their girl turned on so they can get a little bit. Only woman in the morning I wanna turn on this Becky quick. While the average man looking at this act like she fine as it. I'm over here looking at tails and whips like 5'6". I left the mayhem for the market. Now I don't want a dope spot, I want to stop it. I know that booty got dry, triggered my stop losses, but I ain't got time for your wop. My V-wops crossing. Rich with hot V's from pushing hot strategy and plans to make grand. Still in my wife beater, Batman pajamas, house slides, and about 5 hot picks for the day. Cause I like the way the dial bounce. 4 hot dips on call, so I got options. 2 with a lot of volume, 1 with a double bottle. Now I know dumb money don't understand. Am I talking about my trade or just thinking with my MACD? You see, we different in the way we move. You move with kittens and your dog, I move with bears and bulls. I got a green thumb, grow with the marijuana. Waking up with the fun, open up some commas. Jump out of bed, big profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, big profits. Light up watching them can big profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packs and die. Now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Profits. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETFs, making profits. I jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, make profits. Light up watching them can make profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. See, me and Jim Cramer been talking mad money. Said today I'm taking a risk. They got the feds coming, but I got support here with me. I call a short squeeze. You get the drop, pull the trigger, and abort these. If she stay on my watch list, I might have to wife her. But I know better. I'm a true trading group lifer. Call up the Wolf of Weed Street. It's time to flip some profits. Go ahead, be hawking. Get your spot here. I'll double top that in the head and shoulders. Hit him up with this resistance. Watch him roll over. Cause I see John Wicks in contract. If I say I make $1 million a day, well, that's a large cap. You moving average, that's why you get crossed. Get split, get delisted, and knocked off. And I'm setting the whole block off. I'm buying GameStop and selling them roadblocks off. Jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, make profits. Light up watching them can make profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packs and stop. Now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETFs. Hey, my family. Hey, go, what we doing, my man? And make profits. Hey, Shug, Mike, what we doing? And make profits. Yo, Wolf, Professor, what we doing? And make profits. That TTG money gang, and making profits. We some snipers.
What's up, everybody? What's going on, folks? Welcome to the True Trading Group live stream. Folks, my name is Michael Edward Parinati. I go by Michael Edward. I began my trading career over 17 years ago working at T3 Alpha Fund, my first job right out of college. 2008 then happened, and that was the Great Recession. The stock market crashed, but also the same year that I received one of the firm's Trader of the Year awards. Now you fast forward, I'm the co-founder. I'm the head trader at True Trading Group. And along with my team of 9 other professional trading mods and over 30-person staff, we've helped thousands of traders from all over the world to reach their goals. We actually have members in 115 different countries. We truly are a global community here at True Trading Group. Now, we've got an important day coming up tomorrow. We've got Netflix earnings and we've got Tesla earnings. So what I'm going to do with you guys here on this live stream is we're going to go over and discuss what I expect from Netflix and Tesla's earnings. That will be coming out tomorrow after the close and after the bell. I'll go over kind of what my thoughts are on what I think the earnings are going to be, how I think the stock reacts, and how I intend on trading those scenarios. For those of you that don't know, I do not position myself ahead of earnings. I do not like to flip a coin when it comes to my money. And if you position yourself going into an earnings release, in my opinion, you're flipping a coin. You are making a bet that earnings are going to either be good or bad, and they're going to raise guidance or they're going to lower guidance. You never know what the company is actually going to say. You can have a situation where a company beats earnings, but You can have a situation where a company releases better than expected earnings, okay, better than expected earnings, and then they actually lower their guidance, and the stock could actually drop 15%, even though they beat on their earnings. So rather than try to pretend like I have any idea what a company is going to say in their earnings report, I like to rather have an understanding of what I think the market's reaction to earnings will be, and then trade the post-earnings move, where I then can be able to establish a very clear setup, very good risk reward, and determine the direction of the market, rather than get myself into a position before an earnings announcement comes out. Now, let's dive right into it. Let's talk about Tesla and Netflix. And first up, we're going to have Tesla. Tesla has kind of been sitting here, at a pretty big support level, and it's held together now on two separate occasions. 2 separate days, you've had Tesla has kind of gotten down into these major moving average, the 50-day moving average and the 100-day moving average. The 50 days is dark blue line. The 100 days, this purple line. And you can see that we've been trying to hold this level. We really got deep into this level today. You can see how far this tail takes you down on Tesla, but then recovering nicely and actually finishing the day back above those moving averages after a complete and total reversal. So they've got their earnings coming up. This stock is in the middle of a consolidation phase. There is not directional momentum on this stock right now. That could change after they come out with earnings. There are a couple of different levels that I'm really focused on, depending on how big of a move this stock is going to make off of their earnings report. The 2 levels that I am focused on, the one level that you need to be focused on is the 200-day moving average. It seems far away, and that's because it is. It's at $200. Okay. It's actually $213. I'm sorry, not 200. 210 is this line you see drawn on my screen. $213 is the 200-day moving average. If Tesla comes out with earnings and they are bad, if their guidance is lowered, if their margins are a concern, and I'll tell you, I got to be honest with you. Okay. Sorry, guys. My mind is just all over the place today. I think that Tesla's earnings are going to, I think there's a little bit of a worry here. I think there's a cause for concern because China's economy is not doing that great. Tesla relies pretty heavily on China. You've got reports that the iPhone 15 sales in China are weak, which could show that the consumer in China is weak. And you've got this growing concern about margin pressures with Tesla as prices, production costs have risen while you have Tesla continuously cutting the price of their vehicles. So I think that there's a concern here. I think there's a concern here that if they report that things are not really all that great in China, I think you can have a situation where the markets actually move to the downside off of their earnings report. And it would be a guidance issue. But if that gap down is severe, if there's a severe gap down because of earnings, guys, I'm telling you, I think that 200-day moving average is a brick wall. And I think that the stock would bounce off that 200-day moving average if we get there. Okay. If we get all the way down to that 200-day moving average, I just think it's too big of a level. You see this resistance level here. You see resistance here. You broke through it. It pulled back. It then became support. And then bang, you've got this 200-day moving average that sits right there. So if there is any sizable gap down that takes you down into this region, okay, then I think that you get a little bit of a bounce off this level. I do. I think that you would bounce to the level. But listen, that's a long ways away. So you would need a disastrous earnings report for the stock to get all the way down to that level. I think that if you're going to, I got to be honest with you, you want to know who I think is really going to make money on the Tesla earnings? People that are sitting in iron condors. That's what I think. I think that people that are in call options and put options alike have a chance of losing money. The premiums get very high. The implied volatility gets very high on options. And then if the report does not give you at least a $10 move in either direction, if you don't get at least a $10 to $15 move, then you have the chance of just the implied volatility, the IV crush on the contracts causes people that are in call options to lose money, and then it causes people that are in put options to lose money. I just don't know if I see there being that big of a move in Tesla. I'm guarding against maybe a move to the downside, but again, I'm not in a position. I'm not going to be in a position going into the bell tomorrow when they report earnings after the close. But it will be something that I will trade on Thursday. So after the report earnings, if there's a sizable gap, I'm going to trade it. Resistance levels you need to keep eyes on. 280 is a big level. 290 is a big level. 300 is a big level. Every $10 that you get to the upside on Tesla is going to be a level of resistance. Every $10. You even have 270, then you have 280, then you have 290, and then you have 300. It is literally every $10. Where do these levels come from? First, just a little previous pivot high. That's the least significant of the levels. So if you're grading resistance levels by strength and severity, this is going to be the least severe. This is going to be a minor level, just a little pivot point. Then when you get to 280, this becomes a bigger level because this is a gap entry. You can see all the way back here in July, you have this big gap down that created an open gap. So this lines up with this resistance. That provides you a bigger resistance level at 280. Once you clear 280, you then have 290. 290 is the gap fill. That actually closes and fills the gap. And then once you get to 300, that's going to be this previous pivot there from July. So you literally have resistance on Tesla every single $10 to the upside. So draw these lines on your screen, have them up so that when the company reports earnings, you know where you should be looking to structure your trades. Structure your trades off of major levels, not those minor levels, and that'll keep you in higher probability situations and setups. Then we have Netflix. Netflix is another one that I'm actually concerned about when it comes to their earnings. And the reason why I'm concerned about Netflix's earnings is that this stock had a massive rally in the summer. June and July, you saw a huge rally in Netflix. Why? There was a lot of excitement behind the launch of their ad platform. And everybody was very excited about the ad platform. And there were comments from the company that everything was going fantastic and things were going well with the ad platform. But what we found out in the early 2 weeks of September was that the ad platform is actually not doing that well. Comments from the CFO saying that and the CEO saying it's very difficult to build out this ad platform, and that the revenue that they were expecting to generate from the ad platform is not meeting their expectations. Now, the stock is sold off very heavily on the back of that news. So maybe some of this is already priced in. But you've seen what has happened to Netflix earnings before if there is a big disappointment. You have seen big moves in Netflix in either direction once they do come out with their earnings. I am skeptical of their earnings, and they might disappoint with subscriber growth, and they might disappoint with this ad platform. The support level that I'm watching here for Netflix is right underneath 350. Right underneath 350 is going to be a big level. If Netflix gaps underneath 350 the day after earnings and it tries to push back to 350, I'm going to try to short the stock at 350 and look for it to roll over down towards 330. So where do I get this level from? I'll zoom it in. Here you guys can see there's your level of resistance. There's your level of resistance. And there is a gap entry. It all lines up right around $347, $348. Okay. So this is going to be a big level. We're not too far away from it. If it's going to be a bad earnings report, you would gap underneath it and then look for that to be resistance. If it's a positive earnings report and you actually get a gap up, I think the gap up is actually a much harder trade. The reason why I believe it's a much harder trade is because of this level of resistance that you see here drawn across my screen on this white line. This is a very big level of resistance. You can see it previously was support for Netflix. You see the 200-day moving average, which is this yellow line. This is still going to be a level of resistance. So unless you gap clear above this level up here, the long is going to be a very difficult trade. If you gap up to 370, 375, that's a very difficult trade to be long because you're still in the heart of this resistance level. If you can clear that, then you have room to 400. 400 would be this previous support. You can see it was resistance after we broke it in September. And the 50-day moving average, the dark blue line on my screen, is curling down towards that 400 level also. So these are the levels that I have drawn up for Netflix and Tesla. Once again, I don't have positions in them. I will not have positions in them going into the closing bell. I will wait and see what the earnings actually are. We'll gauge the levels that I just put up on the screen, see where the stocks are sitting and where they're trading, and then we'll go through and we'll trade them Thursday. So I'll be with you guys, obviously, for when the earnings are reported. We'll talk about what we think, and then Thursday morning, we will I'll be live with members, obviously, in the pre-market session with the rest of the pro trading moderators and True Trading Group, and we'll be going over talking with you guys on how we're going to trade it, what the game plan is going to be, where I'm getting long, where I'm getting short, etc. But I'm going to wait and see what the earnings actually are. Okay, so that is the Netflix and Tesla earnings, and I got to be honest with you guys, I really didn't even want to do this live stream today. I really didn't. My head is just all over the place today. It's just crazy. I didn't even want to do this live stream today, but I know, Netflix, Tesla, these are two of the most volatile, most highly followed, most talked about stocks on social media. And with them having earnings tomorrow, I feel like, we got to have the discussion. We got to talk about those earnings, but we're going to also do something a little bit different today. We're going to do something that we don't usually do on the live stream. We're going to have a conversation today about a couple of different things. And, in order to help me have that conversation, I do want to bring on, and I want to welcome everyone, just give a big shout out and a big TGG AO welcome to my business partner and the co-founder of True Trading Group, Adam.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Yeah. Yeah. We really didn't want to do this live stream today. I mean, Mike and I went back and forth all afternoon about not doing this live stream.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to say, really. I think that was part of the problem. Right?
That was part of the problem.
Part of the problem is we didn't know what to say on the stream. We didn't know what to, look, the only reason that we even did it is because it's hard to ignore the fact that Tesla and Netflix earnings are tomorrow.
Right.
But if it wasn't for that, I mean, I don't, obviously we would not have done this live stream. Doesn't feel right to come out and sell memberships and talk about making money when there's so much death and tragedy happening right this second.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it was just all day, man. All day we were just back and forth. Yeah, I don't really know.
I'm just, when you just look around, you see everything that's happening. You're just like, oh man. So then I want to come on a live stream and be all energetic and happy and talk about, we're going to be making money. We got some laptops. Everybody, sign up for a membership. And it's just like, you guys forget we have members all over the world in True Trading Group. People that join True Trading Group are, we say welcome to the family, and we mean that. We mean welcome to the family when you guys join True Trading Group. But we have built and formed relationships with people. When people become a member, they're not just a number. They're actually, they're actually become friends, and relationships have been built. And we have members in 115 countries. We have members that are,
we have members that are in Israel, that are in Gaza.
Literally.
We have members in Egypt. We have members that have families in both places. It is, the world, I got to tell you, right? Growing up in the United States and even though I didn't have the greatest upbringing, you don't realize like how small of a place this really is. And I don't mean Miami. I mean like the planet. You don't realize how small it really is. Couple, several thousand miles, man. That's what divides it between us doing a YouTube live stream talking about the stock market and and somebody not knowing where they're going to sleep tonight or whether they're going to wake up tomorrow.
Right.
And I don't know what to say, it's just it's one of those things where you see the thing where the hospital, had been attacked, and look, who knows, Mike and I were talking about it earlier, and you were right. Each side has already made up their mind.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, it's what I was trying to say before, and it's a conversation that so many people are having. Oh, was it Israel, or was it a misfired rocket from Hamas? It doesn't matter, because people have already made up their mind.
Right.
Like, depending on which side of this war that you support, depending on who you are, where you're from, what your beliefs are, you already have made up your mind. It doesn't matter what any news network is going to say. Okay. People that are on one side are going to say Israel did it, and people that are on another side are going to say Hamas did it. And it's just to argue that point. It's just, it's just like, you're never going to know, because neither side is ever going to actually claim responsibility for it, whether it was intentional or unintentional. It doesn't matter. No one's going to claim responsibility for it. So you're never going to know. All that I do know is that you have just a tremendous amount of innocent people that are dying because of this. And it just leaves a terrible feeling in my stomach as I come on here, sitting in my house with my wife and my dog and my cars in my driveway and talking about the stock market and this and that. And you're just like, man, like, that's what I'm worried about right now. And it just makes you think.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I agree, it doesn't matter what side of the fence you're on. The fact is that there was a lot of innocent people that died in Israel at the beginning of the month.
Right.
And there's been a lot of people that have died in Gaza, throughout the month and today. A lot of children on both sides, a lot of mothers and fathers and elderly on both sides. It's just kind of really, it's a terrible thing, man.
I just, and this is what I said to you before. I'm like, listen, man, it's war, right? War is war. People die in war. I get it. But soldiers killing soldiers, that makes sense. When you see innocent civilians that get caught in the crossfire, it is just.
This isn't even crossfire, bro. They're all, I mean, it's like, it's just, civilians in Israel, civilians in Gaza, back and forth. I mean, I got to tell you, man, some of the, I'm in a bunch of, you and I have to be plugged in during the day. Right.
Yeah.
So we have to, so I know that you're in a bunch of different, online groups like Telegram news groups, and so am I. And we, look for things that are happening. And bro, some of the pictures and some of the videos that have been, that you and I saw today, I gotta tell you, I ain't never seen nothing like that, man.
In the last couple of weeks, I don't think I've ever seen as many gut wrenching. Gut wrenching
is actually like a perfect
that I've
word.
ever seen in my entire life. Like, I see some of these images and some of these videos, both images and videos that came out of Israel and images and videos that are coming out of Gaza, and I'm just like, I just get nauseous.
That's a good way to put it.
I honestly, I just get nauseous, and I can't. It's like, this is going on today, and like I can't focus. I can't focus on what's going on in the market and like making trades. I couldn't focus. And that's why like, we didn't even want to do this live stream because I didn't even know what to say. To be honest with you guys, I just didn't even know I'm going to come on here and then what am I going to say? What am I going to talk about?
Yeah, I didn't have the answer either. It is, I think gut wrenching is actually the perfect word.
Yeah, that's literally how I feel.
Yeah, gut wrenching is literally the perfect word. You know, I can't believe there's 1,100 people on the stream right now. If you're new and just joining us, this isn't usually what we talk about. We're not going to make a habit of this. But I think that we just saw and heard too much throughout the course of today, right? And look, I'm pretty sure the majority of people on this live stream remember. Oh well, 20% of them are not, but most of the people on here are our members. And look, man, we got members that are Muslim and Jewish and Catholic and Christian and every other religion out there. We have members that are black, white, brown, whatever. We have members that are gay, that are straight, that are trans, that are LGBTQ plus. None of it matters. It's insane, but like none of it matters. If you're a good person and you want a real chance at doing something better for yourself, then like that's kind of what we're all about.
Yeah.
None of that other stuff matters. Because at the end of the day, it's just people.
That can actually agree on something. There's a lot of things people don't agree with. There's so many things people don't agree with, and people have their opinions and their views. But the one thing that everybody could agree on is wanting to better their lives and to, be able to make more money to support their families and everything else. That's something that, everybody gets behind, and you can come together and for the same goal, which seems like it's so hard to do in today's world. It's just crazy.
Yeah, and we realize this stream doesn't make a lot of sense as far as like the stock market goes. And
I know.
if you're new to our channel, don't judge us on this for today. We've always kind of worn our heart on our sleeves in front of you all, right? We don't hide from talking to you or anything like that. And I have a little kid. I have two. My daughter thinks that she's 30, but
she does.
I have a 5-year-old who's like crazy innocent. And I saw some of the pictures today coming out, and I'm Jewish, man, and I support Israel. But I saw some of the pictures coming out of Gaza, and I saw the kids that were there with their parents, and it's like, I get panicked and nervous when my kid is sick. I couldn't imagine being an innocent civilian in that situation, having to look at your kid and not be able to do anything. Man, I cannot fucking imagine it.
It's you really can't find words for it, man. You really can't.
No.
It's something that I hope nobody ever has to go through.
It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like you realize you see stuff like that, and it doesn't matter how much you support one side or the other. It doesn't matter. Like, it's all like human life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about like defending terrorism or like, you know, whatever. I'm talking about people that are innocent, that didn't have a choice, that didn't have a voice. You know, there's a lot of people that hated Trump's policies, right? Did you want to be, you know, like, but did you want to be known and associated with everything that he did when he was in office? And I can say the same for Biden. There's a lot of people that hate Biden's policies. Do you want to be known and associated with everything that he does in the eyes of the world? Of course not. On both sides. But we don't often get a say. So, you know, there is yeah. You know, we often don't get a say, man, and unfortunately it's even worse for people in that part of the world. There are I know it for a fact that there are good people, normal, regular civilian people in Gaza, in Palestine, that have a right to live, just like the people in Israel do. And they don't get a say in what Hamas does or what Hezbollah does or what these other, you know, terrorist groups do. They're just on the wrong side of the fence.
Yeah. Literally on the wrong side of the fence. It's, you know, you think about, you know, every time the U.S. is involved in a military conflict, it is never in our backyard. There are never bombs going off in your neighborhood. There are never sirens going off in your neighborhood. It is always somewhere else. And it's very easy for us to just, you know, wake up, go to Starbucks, do our thing, you know, go to Target, do whatever it is, you know, go to Whole Foods and Trader Joe's and go get our car washed and go here and go there. And then you wonder what would your life actually be like if through no fault of your own, all of a sudden bombs are dropping on your neighbors' houses. Not because of something that you did. We're very lucky and fortunate that nobody's ever had the balls to step onto our backyard. Not everybody else in the world is that fortunate. And it's like,
yeah, I mean, as
you forget, you know, it slips your mind.
As screwed up as look, you know, the United States is far from perfect, right? Whether you like the person, you know, like or agree with the person in the White House or government or everything else, or you don't feel that your voice is heard, whatever it is, whatever issues you have with the United States and how it's run, look, it's far from perfect. But the fact that you get up today and on the internet go on and say that it's far from perfect, right, and you don't have to worry about your family or you going to prison because of that. The fact that most of you will sleep in a bed tonight and not worry about whether or not your house will be hit by an attack. You know, the fact that this YouTube channel exists and you have a job and you start your own businesses and you make money, and you can go and, you know, that American dream is still alive. It's a little bit more expensive nowadays, but it's alive.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, you can't tell me that this isn't the greatest place in the world. You just can't.
Hell yeah.
I don't give a shit what side of the fence you're on. This is still the best deal in town.
Yeah. I just want to, you know, I see some comments. People saying like, you know, Pearl Harbor was our backyard, Boston Marathon, 9/11. Yes, all of those things were our backyard. Those were
terrorist attacks. I'm talking about.
Oh, no. Well, Pearl Harbor wasn't a terrorist attack. That was an actual.
No. Boston Marathon was.
Yeah, Boston Marathon, 9/11, terrorist attacks. Pearl Harbor, an actual, you know, act of war. But the war itself was not fought on U.S. soil. We went to go destroy everything else in other parts of the world. Okay. Yes, Pearl Harbor was attacked, but Japan did not invade the western coast of the United States and go through California towns. Okay. You know, that's we have not had to deal with something like that. I'm not, you know, it's you forget, or you don't necessarily realize what goes on and what it's like, because our wars are always fought somewhere else. They're not fought here. Now, there's a reason why they're not fought here. That speaks for itself, why it's not fought here. Good luck, anyone that tries. And it's just, you see these images though, and you're just like, you just can't imagine sitting down having dinner, and all of a sudden, you know, missile siren warnings start going off. Like, grab your kids, run into the basement. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. You know, it's. I don't know, man. Guys, I just, like I said, this has nothing to do with the stock market now at this point. You know, we don't usually do this on our live streams, but I just, like I said, Adam and I were sitting here today, and we're just like, all these things are coming through, and Adam and I were just like, we just got like just emotionally drained and emotionally exhausted, and I didn't even know what to say. So we just figured we would have an open conversation with you guys, and just a human conversation. You know, like Adam said, don't judge us on this live stream, because we don't usually talk about anything that's not stock market related, but it was just like, I just didn't really know what else to say today.
Yeah, me neither. Hey man, we're all human beings, dude. We all have a right to exist. It doesn't matter what country you're from, what religion you are, who you voted for, what you're into. We all have a right to exist, man. And maybe if the world stopped preoccupying themselves with being right and justified, and we all just kind of like, for a moment, maybe acknowledged each other's right to exist, maybe things would be a little bit different.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, we're not selling anything on this live stream. There's no, you know, that was it. We just wanted to come on and acknowledge the fact that on a day like today, we're gut-wrenched and heartbroken, but we're also extraordinarily grateful to be where we are.
Yeah, very. 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 So yeah, folks, that's really it. Like I said, we say, you know, welcome to the True Trading Group family. We mean it. And today I just wanted to really just have a conversation with family.
Yeah.
For whatever that does for you, or you know.
Also, there's a lot of other YouTubers right now.
Don't even get me started.
What?
I was like, don't even get me started.
There's a lot of YouTubers right now in the financial space that are, in a lot of different spaces, but I've seen it a lot in the finance space that are doing entire live streams based around this topic in a way that has nothing to do with this topic.
It's overkill. It's such overkill.
And then at the same time, like throwing in their sales with it at the same time. I don't know if any of you watch our channel, but fucking do better.
Yeah, seriously, man.
Look, man, ask any member of True Trading Group. I sell my ass off inside of, I sell and market, and I'm all for making a buck. But there's a right way and a wrong way to go about things. And when the dust settles, you're going to look like an asshole.
Yeah. It's like if I have to see Israel, Palestine war, World War III, like if I have to see that one more time, like, it's like, listen, I get it. It does have implications in the market, right? There could be. We talked about it before when it first happened. I went over. I talked to you guys about you got to pay attention to oil, and if tensions escalate in the region, and if Iran gets involved, and the sanctions on Iranian oil that we would put on them, what that would actually do to oil prices, and that would have a major impact on the stock market.
And that's fine. You could talk about that kind of stuff.
Right. You have to talk. Right.
It's relevant.
It's relevant. You got to talk about it, and we did talk about it. But do not come on every single day with this type of rhetoric to just attract attention, and then not even say anything meaningful about what is going on. You're not even relating that. You're not even talking about it, how it has any impact on the stock market at all whatsoever. It's just World War III, the world's going to end, buy my course. You're a fucking asshole. I'm sorry. It's like I'm tired of it.
And you know what? And if you see it, call them out, man. If you see it and you're on one of those live streams, call them out in the comments. Let them know that, that shit is not cool.
World War III is upon us. The apocalypse. Like, shut up.
It is unbelievably irresponsible and completely insensitive, dude.
I'm just tired of it. Sorry that we're cursing. We don't usually curse on these live streams either, so I do apologize if you guys have your kids around and stuff. We usually don't curse on this channel, but I'm just tired of it.
Extremely.
I'm just tired in general. So that's it.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
I'm sure that there are Muslims watching us right now. I'm sure that there are Jews watching us right now, and I'm sure that there are, Christians and Catholics and that are watching us right now too. And and we all have a right to exist, maybe not Scientologists. It's a joke. But we all have a right to exist, man. And atheists and agnostics and whomever. It doesn't matter. We all have a right to exist, bro.
Little light humor there at the end to try to lighten the mood just a little bit.
So that's it. That's all we got for today. Don't sign up to True Trading Group. Don't join the trial tonight. Tonight's not the night for it.
Tonight's not the night for it.
Tonight's not the night. We'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, in full sales mode. But
we will sell you some stuff tomorrow. I promise.
We'll sell you some stuff tomorrow.
Yeah. Netflix earnings, Tesla earnings. It's gonna be a great stream.
But not today.
All right, folks.
All right.
That's it, guys. So subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, turn on notifications, the whole nine. We'll be back at it again tomorrow. We got a big day, obviously, Netflix and Tesla earnings. I'll walk you guys through it tomorrow. All right. Have a great night, folks. Take care.
Take care.